commune of R, we had to raise the wall of the cemetery. Half of the money which was required for buying lime and for the wages of the skilled workers was supplied by the county council, and the other half by subscription. As to the work of carrying sand and water, making mortar, and serving the masons, it was done entirely by volunteers (just as in the Kabylie Jema). The rural roads were repaired in the same way, by volunteer days of work given by the commoners. Other communes have built in the same way their fountains. The wine press and other smaller appliances are frequently kept by the commune. Two residents of the same neighborhood, questioned by my friend, add the following: at O, a few years ago, there was no mill. The commune has built one, levying a tax upon the commoners. As to the miller, they decided, in order to avoid frauds and partiality, that he should be paid 2 francs for each bread eater, and the corn be ground free. At St. G, few peasants are insured against fire. When a conflagration has taken place, so it was lately, all give something to the family which has suffered from it, a chadron, a bedcloth, a chair, and so on, and a modest household is thus reconstituted. All the neighbours aid to build the house, and in the meantime the family is lodged free by the neighbours. Such habits of mutual support, of which many more examples could be given, undoubtedly account for the easiness with which the French peasants associate for using in turn the plough with its team of horses, the wine press, and the threshing machine, when they are kept in the village by one of them only, as well as for the performance of all sorts of rural work in common. Canals were maintained, forests were cleared, trees were planted, and marshes were drained by the village communities from time immemorial, and the same continues still. Quite lately in La Beaune of Lozère, barren hills were turned into rich gardens by communal work. The soil was brought on men's backs, terraces were made and planted with chestnut trees, peach trees, and orchards, and water was brought for irrigation in canals 2 or 3 miles long. Just now they have dug a new canal, 11 miles in length. Alfred Baudrillard, in H. Baudrillard's Les populations rurales de la France, 3rd series, Paris, 1893, page 479, To the same spirit is also due the remarkable success lately obtained by the Syndicats Agricoles, or Peasants and Farmers Associations. It was not until 1884 that associations of more than 19 persons were permitted in France, and I need not say that when this dangerous experiment was ventured upon, so it was styled in the chambers, all due precautions which functionaries can invent were taken. Notwithstanding all that, France begins to be covered with syndicates. At the outset they were only formed for buying manures and seeds, falsification having attained colossal proportions in these two branches. The Journal des Économistes (August 1892, May and August 1893) has lately given some of the results of analyses made at the agricultural laboratories at Ghent and at Paris. The extent of falsification is simply incredible, so also the devices of the honest traders. In certain seeds of grass there was 32% of grains of sand, colored so as to receive even an experienced eye. Other samples contained from 52 to 22% only of pure seed, the remainder being weeds. Seeds of vetch contain 11% of a poisonous grass (niel), a flour for cattle fattening contained 36% of sulfates, and so on ad infinitum. But gradually they extended their functions in various directions, including the sale of agricultural produce and permanent improvements of the land. In South France the ravages of the phylloxera have called into existence a great number of wine growers' associations. 10 to 30 growers form a syndicate, buy a steam engine for pumping water, and make the necessary arrangements for inundating their vineyards in turn. Baudrillard, LC, page 309. Originally one grower would undertake to supply water, and several others would agree to make use of it. What especially characterizes such associations, A. Baudrillard remarks, is that no sort of written agreement is concluded. All is arranged in words. There was, however, not one single case of difficulties having arisen between the parties. New associations for protecting the land from inundations, for irrigation purposes, and for maintaining canals are continually formed, and the unanimity of all peasants of a neighborhood, which is required by law, is no obstacle. Elsewhere we have the fruitier or dairy associations, in some of which all butter and cheese is divided in equal parts irrespective of the yield of each cow. In the Ariège we find an association of 8 separate communes for the common culture of their lands, which they have put together. Syndicates for free medical aid have been formed in 172 communes out of 337 in the same department. Associations of consumers arise in connection with the syndicates, and so on. Open footnote. Abodrillard, LC, pages 300, 341, etc. Mr. Tiersac, president of the Saint Girone Syndicat, open bracket Ariège, close bracket, wrote to my friend in substance as follows: For the exhibition of Toulouse, our association has grouped the owners of cattle which seemed to us worth exhibiting. The society undertook to pay one half of the travelling and exhibition expenses. One fourth was paid by each owner, and the remaining fourth by those exhibitors who had got prizes. The result was that many took part in the exhibition who never would have done it otherwise. Those who got the highest awards, open bracket 350 francs, close bracket, have contributed 10% of their prizes, while those who have got no prize have only spent 6 to 7 francs each. Close footnote. Quite a revolution is going on in our villages, Alfred Baudrillard writes, through these associations which take in each region their own special characters. Very much the same must be said of Germany. Wherever the peasants could resist the plunder of their lands, they have retained them in communal ownership, which largely prevails in Württemberg, Baden, Hohenzollern, and in the Hessian province of Starkenburg. Open footnote. In Württemberg, 1,629 communes out of 1,910 have communal property. They owned in 1863 over 1 million acres of land. In Baden, 1,256 communes out of 1,582 have communal land. In 1884 to 1888 they held 121,500 acres of fields in communal culture and 675,000 acres of forest, that is 46% of the total area under woods. In Saxony, 39% of the total area is in communal ownership, open bracket Schmoller's Jahrbuch 1886 page 359, close bracket. In Hohenzollern, nearly two-thirds of all meadowland, and in Hohenzollern Hechingen, 41% of all landed property are owned by the village communities, open bracket Buchenberger Agrarwesen volume 1st page 300, close bracket, close footnote. The communal forests are kept as a rule in an excellent state, and in thousands of communes timber and fuel wood are divided every year among all inhabitants. Even the old custom of the Esshol stag is widely spread. At the ringing of the village bell, all go to the forest to take as much fuel wood as they can carry. Open footnote. C.K. Boucher, who in a special chapter added to Lavellay's Urengetum has collected all information relative to the village community in Germany. In Westphalia, one finds communes in which all the land is cultivated as one common estate, in accordance with all requirements of modern agronomy. As to the old communal customs and habits, they are in vigor in most parts of Germany. The calling in of aids, which are real fests of labour, is known to be quite habitual in Westphalia, Hesse, and Nassau. In well-timbered regions, the timber for a new house is usually taken from the communal forest, and all the neighbours join in building the house. Even in the suburbs of Frankfurt, it is a regular custom among the gardeners that in case of one of them being ill, all come on Sunday to cultivate his garden. Open footnote. Kebucher, Ebid, pages 89-90. In Germany, as in France, as soon as the rulers of the people repealed their laws against the peasant associations, that was only in 1884 to 1888, these unions began to develop with a wonderful rapidity, notwithstanding all legal obstacles which were put in their way. Open footnote. For this legislation and the numerous obstacles which were put in the way in the shape of red tapeism and supervision, see Buchenberger's Agrarwesen und Agrarpolitik, BD 2nd, pages 342 to 363 and page 506. Note, close footnote. It is a fact, Buchenberger says, that in thousands of village communities in which no sort of chemical manure or rational fodder was ever known, both have become of everyday use to a quite unforeseen extent owing to these associations. Open bracket, volume 2nd, page 507. Close bracket. All sorts of labor-saving implements and agricultural machinery and better breeds of cattle are brought through the associations, and various arrangements for improving the quality of the produce begin to be introduced. Unions for the sale of agricultural produce are also formed, as well as for permanent improvements of the land. Open footnote. Buchenberger, L.C. BD 2nd, page 510. The General Union of Agricultural Cooperation comprises an aggregate of 1,679 societies in Silesia an aggregate of 32,000 acres of land has been lately drained in by 73 associations. 454,800 acres in Prussia by 516 associations. In Bavaria there are 1,715 drainage and irrigation unions. From the point of view of social economics, all